Welcome to Serger School with Bernina. I'm Amanda Caressio, and today I am joined by Julian Collins. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. We are talking about hem options that you have on the Serger because you don't actually have to go to your conventional sewing machine. You've got a lot of options on your Serger. Today we're talking about the blind hem, and this is a really quick, almost invisible hem that you can do on your Serger. It's also a stretchy hem, so it's a great pick for hemming knits. Julian, tell us a little bit more about how the stitch works.
Definitely. So essentially this is a flat lock stitch.
Got it.
That what you're doing is just kind of catching the edge of the unfinished edge of your fabric as well as a little bit of a fold.
Okay.
So that is what's creating that hemmed finish where if you're using matching thread,
Exactly.
it can be almost invisible.
Awesome. And now you can do this with a regular Serger presser foot, but there is a specialty foot that makes this process a little bit easier, right?
Definitely. So there are presser feet that are specifically for blind hem. So definitely Bernina has them, but also you can check with other brands because I'm sure they have them as well.
Awesome. Well, let's go to the machine and see this stitch in action.
Okay.
All right, actually, before we head to the machine, we need to do a little bit of prep work on this hem.
Definitely. So what we want to do to make sure that we are set up for the blind hem is we want to make sure that we're folding the fabric correctly. And for that, we want to create like an N shape. So what I've done here is I've already kind of folded it up 1 inch. So then we would need to press this.
Okay.
You want to give that a press for me?
I'll do it, yep.
And at our machine, as we're doing that, I have it set up for a 2-thread overlock. You can also do this with a 3-thread, and I also have our blind hem foot already attached to the machine.
Got it. All right.
That looks
I'm ready
good.
for you. There you are.
So once you have that first folded up, so we have folded it towards the wrong side up around 1 inch, then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it again, creating an N shape. So here we see that we have it kind of rolled here that we're going to catch nibbles of, and then we're going to make sure that we're really serging that raw edge.
Got it. And how much of that do you want exposed?
So here I want around between 1/8 to up to around 3/8 of an inch.
Okay, perfect.
All depends. And of course you want to check your machine settings to make sure
That's right.
that you are choosing the proper settings for your machine.
Got it.
And also here I've turned down my needle tension to make sure that we have enough room so when we are trying to open it up, it gives you a little
It'll lay
give there.
flat.
Yes.
Got it.
Sometimes it's easier to make sure that you're kind of going all the way up to that needle, so make sure that you're getting that fabric underneath there. And I have my stitch length to around a 4.
Okay. See, that foot is really helpful.
Definitely. So this foot really makes it easy to kind of butt up that fold up against that edge. Then once we're done here, I'm going to just start opening it up, and you can definitely see that flat block there.
Yep.
And on the other side,
Oh, look at that.
you're getting a nice flat stitch with kind of like a ladder effect. Now, of course, if you were doing this in the same color
Right.
thread as a fabric, it's going to be almost invisible.
Yeah, I kind of like seeing it.
I do too.
Yeah.
I definitely use this as a decorative finish, especially if you have variegated threads. I love rainbow, so
Yeah.
I don't mind using this on especially like a knit shirt, so like your cuffs in rainbow.
Yeah.
Just gives you a little something extra.
I love that. I love that. Well, where can folks go if they need a little bit more help with this stitch?
So if you need a little bit more help, you can definitely check out Bernina.com for more videos.
And you can also refer back to the article in Sew News, also live on sewdaily.com. Okay, let's talk troubleshooting. What if you really want to make this stitch super invisible? What can you do?
So if you really want to make this super invisible, it's all about how much of that fold you're getting in the stitch or in the needle. So you can definitely adjust the fold a little bit backwards to make sure that you're still catching it, but you're not catching too much of it.
Got it.
That's one way to kind of shorten it here. And as we can see here, this one's a bit shorter than the one we just did.
Yep. And here you've got it in some knits as well.
Definitely. And one great thing about the stitch is that it is stretchy. So it is really great for knits because it can give you a nice stretch while still holding its shape.
Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about applications. I was thinking this stitch would be great for like a sweater knit, something that has a good bit of texture and you don't want to disrupt that with a really stark hemline at the bottom.
Definitely. It works great for sweater knits, but it also works great for like your good wovens, like a medium weight woven. So you can do this on pants, you can do this on bottoms of coats or different things like that. Kind of the sky's the limit.
Awesome. I love this technique and I can't wait to work with it more. Well, we've covered so much today. We've talked about the blind hem in general. We've talked about machine setup, fabric setup, troubleshooting, and applications. We've covered a lot. Thank you so much, Julian. I enjoyed all of your tips.
Thank you again for having me.